Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So here I want to cover where you can get all the earliest news from the developers and get the most interaction with them. Additionally, I want to cover a player giveaway hosted by Erkalynn, where you can post some of your funny gameplay clips of Neverwinter and potentially win some nice rewards. You could get a rainbow panther mount, a rainbow tiger mount, or even a rainbow Flumph vanity pet. Those will all depend on platform and more details later on in the video. But first of all, I want to cover how you can get the most interaction with the developers and keep yourself updated even more than, let's say, what I post. I generally cover all the news and everything you should know, but maybe you want more and even more player interaction outside of the game. You may have noticed that the official forums for Neverwinter have kind of been dying. There's not a lot of interaction of them. They have posted sections with, say, the launch of a new module, but to be honest, those posts have not received a lot of attention or reactions, and we have not nearly got as much interaction as we did in the past. So where else should you look? Well, I'm here to show you the Protectors Enclave Discord server. You'll have to either access it via the Discord website or the Discord app, whether for your computer or even your phone. There'll be a link in the video description below where you can access this. Now, the server is not exactly officially linked to the Neverwinter game and the company, as it is created by volunteers, and so it's not completely official. It doesn't have everything to go with that. Everything's pretty much run by volunteers. You do have a pretty extensive setup of rules and guidelines, and that's all there because there is in fact quite a lot of developers in this server. Whether they show themselves active or not is another story, but we do get, and we have been getting, quite a lot of interaction by one developer in particular, and that is in the channels related to bugs and feedback. So these channels, you can create a post, whatever you think is important here in terms of feedback. You want something to change, you think things should be done differently, you can create a feedback post here. You can search if what you were going to say has already been said, or you can go create a new post if not. Same with bug reports. If you find something that's particularly annoying and inconvenient in the game, as some things aren't working as you think they should be, you can create a bug report. But also be sure to search and see if that's already been reported. Now, don't expect to get a response from the developers all the time. In most cases, you don't really. You'll at least get perhaps them reading what has been said. For example, I posted about the Astro Lockbox dropping the wrong mount, got a bunch of reactions from other players confirming, and so on and so forth. But then you do get, yes, Brett Norton here responding. And Brett Norton is a Cryptic developer, and he's the one who's been interacting with the community the most within about the past year nearly on this Discord server. And you will see in pinned messages here most of his messages as well, at least the important ones. You can also see when they call for feedback. So we have the Ranger Warden feedback thread where they posted and are asking for feedback on it, and then they'll work on updates, and you can see the updates that have all gone by here, nicely pinned by the volunteer moderators, and you can jump to them and you can see, for example, here they're working on a bunch of changes and they should be up for testing on the preview server with the next module, and that should be coming pretty soon. There will be changes that will affect both the ranger powers of Warden and Hunter, so they will be getting some small buffs there. And you have, teasers. For example, this app will change, and this app will change, and then asking for feedback on that. And there's a lot of interaction and discussions that go on. You have one for the Fighter Dreadnought that's pretty much died out by now, as that has mostly been finished with regards to its updates. It's in a pretty good spot, at least for single target damage. Rogue also had its own thread. A whole bunch of updates here were made, and there's still things in the works, like fixing toxic blades and adjusting smoke bomb, and Barbarian had theirs as well. And this is pretty much where all of these updates are coming from. What I share screenshots of from Brett Norton, the executive producer. He's also active on some live streams sometimes. And yeah, ultimately, he has been the one giving us all the information. And so you can find all of the different channels in the Protectors Enclave server here, like general, just PvE, PvP, preview, trading, lore, fashion, and art. Then you have the bulletin board where content creators will post videos, guild advertising here if you want to join a guild. And other than that, you do have some class discussion threads here. Not exactly that active, but you can post something that's more generalized with your class if you're just asking players for their opinions, guidance on that class, rather than, let's say, feedback, where you might get bombarded if you say something really ridiculous because you aren't aware. It's better to ask in a different channel if you're just going to be asking about, let's say, how things work in the game. If you aren't aware, be sure to ask somebody. Make sure you understand something fully before, say, giving feedback, making suggestions, and same with bug reports. You want to make sure it's not working as intended before making a bug report, or you're just going to look silly. For example, if there's a boss mechanic and it works like this, but you think it's a bug, and then it turns out that's actually supposed to be how it works. You just were ignorant of how to counter it. Be sure again to read through the server rules here and make sure you're following the appropriate guidelines and be respectful of other people. There are announcements here for when the server's up on the different platforms. Sometimes you will get announcements like this from the developers, updates to the Discord server as a whole, and just things like that. The social feed will say when Cryptic Studios are live streaming, and they sometimes also do some official giveaways here for some special items like the rainbow mounts and vanity pets. And this is also where they hosted, say, the 3000 Zen giveaway. But then that moves us on to player giveaways. And there's one active right now. You can post a funny clip of some of your gameplay, did something amusing happen, and you have a chance to win a reward depending on your platform. So Xbox, you could get a Rainbow Starry Panther. This is what that looks like here. It's one of the coolest in my opinion. Really neat visuals there with the rainbow effect going very well with it. You get the rainbow trail as you run as well. PC, you can get a rainbow Flumph vanity pet. I'm fairly sure it's one of the rarest that there is, at least for now. And that's what it's going to look like, following you around. A little ghostly Flumph that can glow all different sorts of colors. Really cool, and doesn't take up, say, a mount or companion slot. And PS, you can get a Rainbow Starry Tiger mount. And this is what that looks like. A lot similar to the Panther, but just in tiger form. You also get that trail when you run around, and otherwise it's just, yeah, a tiger, which got a unique saddle and does glow a little bit of the rainbow colors. This is hosted by Erkalynn. She has a Twitch channel where she regularly streams, and she also has a YouTube channel where she posts some gameplay videos and guides. She's on Xbox, she's kindly hosting this, and basically there are 3 different threads. You want to go to these threads and you want to just post a funny clip. For example, this one right here. Something amusing happens just while you're playing the game. You think it's funny and you can share it with other players, and people will react if they also think it's funny. This here, she couldn't stop because the ice and fell off. There's the one for PC, there's the one for PlayStation. Feel free to jump in, post any of your funny clips from gameplay within Neverwinter. Again, just make one post and players can react with the rolling on the floor laughing emoji, and the player with the most reactions will receive the reward. So it's pretty fair. Again, this is in the player giveaways channel. You can see at the very top you have channels and roles. You can select what channels and what roles you want to have displayed here. You might miss some, you'll have to go here and look for them. Ultimately, I just wanted to showcase that a little bit, and there is that where there's a lot of player interactions. You can use the app on your phone as well. It runs pretty smoothly, and it's essentially just, yeah, a chatting platform without, say, the fluffs that other social media platforms might have. If you're entirely new to Discord, it might take a little bit of time getting used to it. But that is where I found the devs are the most active with regards to reacting with the community. Particularly, again, Brett Norton over the past year, half year, getting feedback from the players, looking at suggestions and actually implementing some of them. We have seen a lot of progress with class updates, balancing, and yeah, fixing bugs. Not everything's perfect. They don't have, I guess, the biggest team to solve everything at once. It all takes a bit of time. So once again, a massive thank you to all of these channel members for your added support. When we'll see you guys around, goodbye for now.